Well, Fraser Wishart, you've been here before on a number of occasions with clubs in Scotland going into administration, smaller clubs admittedly. Does this feel a little bit like history repeating itself?
Yes, sadly, Glenn, I have been through it a number of times and seen it in a number of situations. I think the big difference here is the amount of money owed to the inland revenue. That's the big killer here for Rangers, and the real issue that Craig White is going to have to address, or an administrator is going to have to address, is how to deal with that debt. Because in previous administrations with football clubs, maybe the owner, for example, in Motherwell's case, it was John Boyle, was owed the majority of the money. Therefore, he controls the administration process, and he controls whether the club comes out of administration with a CVA. In this situation, if there's more than 25% of the total debt the Rangers owe is owed to the revenue, then they are a major player in this situation. And this is, I think, where people within football are getting concerned, because previously football clubs have survived. In this case, it might not.
You mentioned Motherwell, some of the others?
Dundee a couple of times, Livingston, Morton, Clydebank. When I was finishing my career, I was player assistant manager.
Many clubs in England.
Yeah,
many clubs.
I think Graham hit a key point earlier on, Glenn, was about the bad reputation that football has, mainly because of the English clubs and the way they've treated the HMRC in terms of their debts as well. So there is all this kind of politics going on behind the scenes, and as you mentioned, you know, the House of Commons as well with regards to big business. So this is going to be a difficult one for Rangers to ride out.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Graham, many of the clubs that we've mentioned are still going strong. Some have disappeared. What's your sense of the situation at Rangers?
I mean, I find it, call me naive or a traditionalist, I find it inconceivable that Rangers FC will not exist in 2 years' time or 5 years' time or 10 years' time. But that's not to say they won't go into liquidation. The timeline might be broken. I think Rangers FC might cease to exist for 24 hours and a new company might have to be reborn. And at the scene of the crime here, there are a couple of principal felons, Sir David Murray being one, who foisted this EBT system, excuse me, on Rangers, and he's left a very bitter harvest for the club. And then Craig White seems to me to be a shambolic character who came along. Murray was desperate to sell, nobody stepped forward. Craig White came along with his colourful history in business. It's been a double whammy of a disaster for Rangers, and they'll definitely go into administration. They may well be liquidated, and if they do, they would have to be reborn in a reconstituted club.